Hello, good evening, and thanks for tuning in for another Essential RC flight sim session with Aerofly RC8. Done this a few times. Last night was doing a bit of driving, but I thought I'd do a bit of flying tonight. Now, before I start, although I have been doing a bit of live streaming recently, we're going to be getting back into doing some more product flight tests. So I'll just quickly show you some of the things we've got coming up. So this is the, I like these little cool toys where you get everything that you need in the one box. So this is an F-22 Raptor. That should be fun to have a play with. The next one is this kind of four-engined cargo jet. That's the next one we're going to be trying out. And then the third one is the X420. So apparently can vertical takeoff and landing. So we're going to give that a go. So quite a few flight tests coming up on the Essential RC YouTube channel in the not too distant future. So let's hang around, let's get into doing a bit of flying. Hi Simon RC, how you doing? Ria Bai as well. I'm good, thanks for asking. So this is where I left RC8 last time, and that's with this big cargo jet, actually very similar to what I was just showing you. That's funny, isn't it? Looks almost the same as that. So that's what we're going to be trying out soon down the park, because they're quite small planes, so no problem flying them down the park. So anyway, let's get going. Spool up the engines and we're away. Gear up. So this is a nice slow, you would think relaxing model to start with, but it is actually pretty aerobatic for such a beast. So it's we're going to do this for an hour. So if anybody's got any requests as the type of thing they'd like me to fly, then please let me know. Let's do a nice pass. Bit of a Farnborough pass, as we call it. I'll have to look into why they call it a Farnborough pass, because I live quite close to Farnborough, as it happens. A lot of history of aviation at Farnborough. And roll. So for those of you that might not know, I'm using an RC simulator and flying the models with my transmitter, which is what I use for flying all my radio control planes. But this is great software for learning how to fly RC radio control planes. Hello Edilson from Brazil. I bet it's warmer in Brazil than it is here at the moment. Threatening with snow the next couple of days. I bet you don't get snow in Brazil, do you, Edilson? I'm kind of doubting they get snow in Brazil, but I could be wrong. So I'm just going to go and try and get through quite a few models, a few planes, a few helicopters, in this hour-long session, this hour live stream. Hey Roberto, how are you doing? Thanks for joining in. Hi Gabby. So full flaps down, low slow pass down the runway. Oh, a bit low. So we're going to do one more pass and then land. So landing gear coming down, gear doors open, the landing gear come out. We have to go out this way a little while and then make a turn. So this is a great way to practice flying RC. Even for us experienced pilots, it's great to train your brain even and get some practice in even when it's horrible outside, which it is at the moment. There we go. And brakes. Flaps up. US Air Force. Alright. So that was the C5 Galaxy. Should we try something different? Let's try. I like the extra 330S. Here we go. Yes, there is an FPV, VR. You can use Oculus Rift or Vive. Yes, that's a recent feature of this version, which I was trying the other day. And FPV, yes, you could do FPV with those goggles and be in the plane, or if you were using a drone, for example, you could be doing that way. How's Nintrance? How you doing, buddy? Good to get your email the other day, mate. We're on first name terms now. And how about smoke? So the great thing with some of these models is you can do things that a full-size version of the plane wouldn't do. So obviously a full-size extra 300, it's kind of like, you know, Red Bull Air Race. You would have heard of Red Bull Air Race. It's that type of plane, a model version of it. What? They wouldn't hover this low like this. Be quite dangerous for the pilot. Very dangerous, actually. They might do it very high. They would do it high enough so that if they fell out of the hover, then they could recover. Whereas if I fell out of this, I would crash and break the model. If I was flying a real model on the simulator, you just press spacebar and you start again. This is why I practice, because I'm not a natural at this. It does take practice. You see some young kids do it and it's like, you'd think they'd been doing it since they were born. They're that good. Me, I have to keep practicing. Oops. Well, that's about as 3D as I can get. I'm looking forward to summer as well. That will be fun. I'm just going to turn up my volume a little bit. Okay, something different. How about this DC3? I'm just choosing models at random. Hey Rubens. So as I always say, if this is the first time you've dialed in to Essential RC, then you'd want to consider subscribing. We do lots of stuff. We're a big YouTube channel now. 212,000 subscribers, I think, have doubled in size in just the last 4 or 5 months. So we must be doing something right. So as well as all this simulator stuff, which have just started recently, obviously I travel around to shows and film some of the fantastic models that some of the pilots fly at those shows. I tend to load up one video every day, and we also do quite a few reviews, product reviews of radio controlled planes, helicopters, cars, boats, all that type of stuff, and occasionally give them away in a prize draw, and we'll do another one of those very soon. I wouldn't mind a radio controlled plane like this gorgeous looking thing. Let's do another low pass. It's not all about doing fancy aerobatics. Low pass down the runway. Flaps are down. And the flaps go up. So control the flaps, the landing gear, the brakes, all via extra buttons that are on the transmitter. They're all little functions. So I've been doing this so long I don't really have to look down as to where they are now. Oh, I don't think I should have done that, but it's not really made for, imagine if it was carrying passengers, I think they'd be screaming by now. So we'll come down the runway and put the wheels down. Shouldn't normally fly it myself, but wheels down. I think we better try a helicopter next. Here we go. Oh dear, not very good. That wasn't my best landing. I like that. I like that a lot. Okay, let's try a helicopter, I said, didn't I? I'm just trying a bit, you know, varied stuff. How about the what should we do first? Let's do this one. I haven't done this one for a while. And then we can turn it around before I take off. Oh, come on. Here we go. Kind of a gunship type thing. Here we go. It's a bit like a Huey, yeah. It's a Huey with guns, although you can't fire them in this sim, which is a shame. No, to answer your question, Stuart, no, I didn't. I bought this with my own money. I enjoy using it a lot. Oh, okay, no, I don't think there is a Huey. Stuart, man, you know, I know I'm a big YouTube channel, relatively big, but I don't get everything for free. Believe me, I get a few things for free, but I do buy a lot of stuff because I'm big time into the hobby. You don't get anything. You don't get a free lunch these days. You have to work for everything. Let's try another one. Let's try the Sea Knight. Yeah, I do. I don't honestly know. I've tried most of the sims that are out there. Real flight, I mean, the physics might be quite good. I'm just not that impressed with the models that they've added to it recently. They're mostly Horizon Hobby product type models, not representations of scale aircraft. Yeah, Nintrance. So what do you think of Real Flight X? I thought I didn't. Well, just my personal opinion. I thought it looked. I wasn't much impressive about it. I like the fact it's got a Harrier. Doesn't have an F-14 with swing wings. You know, it's got a few nice models, but just not as much as. What's going on? Not as much as Aerofly RC8, which really does have a lot of diverse stuff. Well, this is a, wouldn't you say this is a Chinook? I think this is about as close to a Chinook as you can get. It's a twin rotor heli. Ah, that's interesting. So Nintrance is saying he's quite disappointed by RFX, Real Flight X. I'm not entirely surprised by that. Now, the thing is, Aerofly RC8, someone was telling me, it might be Nintrance was telling me, is This simulator is twice the price of Real Flight X. I'm not surprised by that. I think it's a couple of €100. But if you're seriously into radio control model flying, then it's an investment. You'd have to spend that type of money to get a decent model, even if it was a trainer. So I wouldn't buy a trainer, I'd buy this first, because hey, you crash, you just hit spacebar and you start again. Oh, does it? Okay, Alpha is telling me the Chinook has four landing gear. Well, so let's land this. This is the move I like doing. Can I do that again? I like doing that so much. I'm going to do that again. I like coming in fast and then doing a... So let's try that again. Down the runway, pick up a bit of speed. Nearly. Yeah, a sim is a good investment, and so few people do it. I think you might be able to get it on Steam, but what you do need to do, even though if you get it off Steam, I think you can, but you need to get the cable that goes into your own transmitter, or you need to buy a dummy transmitter from the supplier of this sim, Aerofly RC8. But that dummy transmitter won't work with radio control planes, real radio control planes. It'll only work with the software. So those are the two options really. Yeah, Nintrance, you got it, man. It's just better to crash in the sim and crash and crash and crash and crash. It's just a whole cheaper way of learning the game. So this is this CH113, I think, which is just like a the same thing really. Yeah, it looks almost the same, doesn't it? Except in a Canadian scheme. Huh. Oh, only RC7. Or maybe they'll put it on there eventually. Ah, that's a nice question, Stuart. Thanks for that. God, that's a really interesting question. So, wouldn't normally do this, but I can show you around the room. Let me just, the room I'm in is my hobby room. So I'll just pick up the webcam. It doesn't go very far. So, so you can see some of my models in the corner over there. So there's a few like powered gliders and stuff like that. There's a small P-51 Mustang. There's an F4 Phantom jet up there. If I show you up here, that's a jet I've got up there. A Sky Sword from Hobby King. I've got a T-33 over there. What have I got over here? There's a Spitfire there. There's another fast plane there. There's an aerobatic plane over there. I've got planes everywhere. And there's a room behind me, and I've got jets in there and proper gas turbine jets. And so to answer your question, my favourite plane varies a lot. It depends what the weather's like, where I'm going. Say for example, turbine jets, I can only fly those at special clubs that have the space because they're so fast. I've got a Composite RF Ultra Flash Sport Jet with a 160 Newton gas turbine engine in it, and it does about 250 miles an hour flat out. I mean, you blink, it's gone. It's a fantastic thing to fly, but I don't fly it very often. But that's probably the thing that really gets my adrenaline flowing more than anything else, I would say. but then I've also got, I was flying the Extra 330, so I've got something like that. I've got one of those, but it's 35% scale. It's got a 120cc engine, about, you know, the size of a motorbike engine, and I finished making that recently with the help of friends last year, so I've flown that a few times. Again, these are some of these things I don't fly very often. They're quite expensive. You really do have to concentrate when you fly them. Yeah, Mr. RC Helijet, how are you doing, buddy? Thanks for this Mr. RC Helijet, another fellow YouTuber. If you're going to go and see, there are some very good YouTube channels. I take pride in my own, but RC Helijet is another awesome, fantastic YouTube channel, and he's based over in Germany. Am I right? So there's, I mean, this is the thing I love about the hobby. It's global, and there's a few of us dedicated YouTubers that capture action all over the place for you guys, so you can watch it. So look up RC Helijet on YouTube. You won't regret it. So I'm showing you the love there, buddy. And honestly, I want to get out to Europe and go to some of their shows, because I'm in the UK, and we do have some fantastic pilots and very enthusiastic aviation modelers over here, but they are crazy mad for it in Europe, and I'd love to go over to some of their shows and film some of that action. But if you want a taste of it, then go on to RC Helijet. It's just some amazing engineering that goes into some of those planes. So yeah, this is what we're like in the hobby, isn't it? We we fill up our homes with models. It's an addiction. It's like a drug. You can never have too many, and there is just so many different types. It's such a diverse hobby. In your lifetime, you could not hope to do everything in the hobby. Good for you. Nintrance has subscribed to RC Helijet. Good man. Yeah, P-38 definitely is, and I don't think there aren't very many of them left, are there? What a fantastic aircraft. But yeah, Mosquito equally. I think the Mosquito's even rarer, isn't it? I mean, is there actually a de Havilland Mosquito still flying? I don't think there is. But I think there is one in being restored at the moment. So I'm trying to think of other great RC channels that are out there. Another one I like a lot is RC. But he does mainly cars, trucks and all that type of stuff, so you're into that. That's very good. I mean, there are lots of channels out there that are trying to do RC stuff, but there's a huge number. But there's very few that I actually, would go to myself and watch their stuff unless they're doing something particularly different. Well, Stuart, I'll be honest with you. they all end up in a bin bag eventually, don't they? If you are, they just do. My kind of measure is that if I get 50 flights incoming, 50 flights out of a model, then I'm pretty happy that I've got the value out of it. And that's kind of probably maybe 2 years out of a model. Yeah, flight test, very good. I have to say, those guys at flight test do work very, very hard. Yeah, so yeah, flight test. I mean, all the stuff they've been making, out of cardboard, like the cardboard A10. I mean, big respect for those guys. I mean, me, I'm more into traveling around and filming things, but they're kind of a team. I have friends, Al, James, Tom, who help me out a lot. We're all quite local to one another, so we help one another out. But the guys at Flight Test, I think they're virtually doing it full time. So you can see the immense amount of effort they put into their creations. So who else? The Slovenian nutcases, right? Captain Thomas, isn't it? Sorry, I'm terrible with remembering names. But again, they've got their own very distinctive style, haven't they? In that they don't edit. They just upload whatever happens, and occasionally it goes wrong for them. But they share that. Can't say I have. No, I would love to meet them, because you know I've got big respect for what they do. And they go to some of the US shows, don't they? So maybe I'll bump into them one day. I think in the next 2 years I'm likely to go out to the States and do some filming out there. Well, they're smart guys, aren't they? I mean, I have to say, running a YouTube channel, and filming and uploading daily, it's only something you could do if you really love the hobby. If me, Flight Test, Captain Thomas, and RC Helijet, you know, if we do make a bit of money, that's a bonus. But it's never the main reason you do something like this. It's because it's because you're having fun doing what you're doing. You couldn't do a YouTube channel and just do it for the money, because it'd just get boring after a while. That's what I think anyway. I do genuinely enjoy filming models and doing this type of stuff. That's the truth. Does this sim have seaplanes? Awesome question. Yes, it does. I'm not sure whether you'll think they're good, but let's show you some of those since you asked. Yeah, they are hilarious, Alpha. They are good guys, I have to say. And they, along with me, are one of a group of 5 YouTube channels who have the privilege of being sent new products by Hobby King on a regular basis. So yeah, I would recommend subscribing to them as well. Okay, so I hear you, Sasha. I'm not sure what other Russian planes are in here. We're gonna now. So I'm on land. Oh, I was hoping I could go in the water. Must be somewhere else. Wait a second. No, that's where I am. Let's try here. Yeah, I can hear you, Sasha. A next one, but I'm not sure what other Russian planes there are. Well, this is the thing, Stuart. You know, this is why I do it, because I'm so much of the time behind the camera. I wouldn't say I'm shy, but but I think it's kind of fun to do this type of thing and interact with subscribers and other people who are into RC. And I don't sell myself as an expert, but I've got a lot of experience. Been doing it since I was a kid, so I'm happy to answer questions. And people who are coming into it for the first time, you know, give you some advice, save you potentially a lot of money. Hey, here we go. I hadn't done this. So PBY Catalina. Yes, fish facts. It does have jets and jet airliners. You've just joined us, but that's what we were doing a minute ago. I'm sure that's what we'll go back to. We've got half an hour left of this stream, so we were just trying some seaplanes. So I don't know, what do you think of this? Taking off. Let's see how this goes. Whoop! You crash into the bank. Yeah, you got it right there. It's Nintrance is exactly right. It's one thing I didn't mention. It's the social side of the hobby as well. Some of my best friends, I've made some of my best friends just by virtue of having the interest in the hobby. Guys that, you know, I've had so much fun with, and you know, I'll be lifelong friends. And you get to meet a lot of I get to meet a lot of interesting guys, you know, people. I shouldn't say guys, should I? Because there are ladies who do it as well. Although not enough, I would say. It would be nice if there were more women involved in RC in general, because it doesn't have to be a guy's thing. It shouldn't be. That'd be the better thing to say, wouldn't it? Did actually my wife does have a go now and again, and it is fun. It is fun with friends and family, you know, when they come with me on sunny days down to my local flying club, to put a glider up really high and let them have a go. And they're amazed at how easy it is, actually. It's not, you know, it's not that hard if you give them something kind of relatively slow moving. Oh! Landing. Now, I meant to do that. It goes back easier in the car if I take the wings off as I land. Should we try? Let's just try one other seaplane. Float planes, it calls them. So we've even got a helicopter with floats. Should we try that? Yes, sure. I'm in the UK. I'm kind of halfway between London and the south coast, which is kind of awesome for going into town. One of my kids is at university in town, actually, in London, and the south to go down to the coast, to go down to the beach. So it's a beautiful place to live. Splish splash. Oh yeah, that didn't go very well, did it? Let's reposition here. So you can kind of see the ripple effects on the water. It's not perfect, but it's not bad. So, and a big splash. Easy transportation, Stuart. The wings have to come off eventually. What else have we got? We got this. This is true scale. So there are a few planes in here. If I go to true scale, that are 1-to-1 scale. Oh, look at that. and they're quite a bit more difficult to control actually. Come on, up, up, up. Oh, it takes forever to get off the ground, which is probably, I don't think now somebody was saying there was a RC flight simulator for mobile, and I can't remember it. Somebody else might. It's generally not a thing though. Oh, look at those surfboards. They've got surfboards up on the beach. Well, here's the thing. Yeah, if that's what it's called, Stuart, you're right. Muscle memory. So it's all about training the brain, really. I'm not, you know, I've been doing it so long, I'm not having to think about it. So here's the thing. When you're flying RC, this is the simplest thing to describe it. If I turn, and I could do this other thing as well. Let me put the transmitter. So if I want to go right when I'm going away from myself, I do the stick to the right and it'll roll right. Now if I'm coming towards myself and I do right, it goes left. And that's kind of the first difficult thing to get your brain around. Is it just is. I can't explain that, but I don't even really think about it now. So let's splash. Fish facts. Somebody was asking me about a Russian. Somebody, I don't know what to tell you. Russian. You're going to have to tell me what is Russian. I don't think there are too many other Russian planes. The MiG is Russian. I don't think there is anything else that is Russian. I'll be honest with you. I may be disappointing you there. No, I don't think there is. Well, the Yak. The Yak 54, isn't that Russian? I'm pretty sure that's Russian. We could do that. That's about as good as it's going to get, I think. Indeed, Stuart, it does. You just can't beat it for learning the basics. This is Aerofly RC8. Imagine there were people sitting at those tables having their lunch. I don't think they'd be too happy with me hovering over them. Be blowing their sandwiches and pop all over the place. Yes, indeed. You know what? I don't know how I knew that, but I thought the Yak was probably Russian. Ah, well, you learn something every day, eh? This is easier to fly than I thought it would be. I think it probably could, but they wouldn't, would they? Because the problem is if this is a very high risk maneuver, even if you're flying an RC plane, it's quite risky. I'm having to really concentrate to compensate for the torque of the engine, which is trying to turn it around. It's like trying to balance a plate on top of a broomstick. Do you know what I mean? Or balancing a broomstick on the top of your hand. It's a constant battle, and I'm using the rudder, the elevator, the ailerons, varying the throttle. I'm doing everything to try and keep it like that. Now there are things you can do to make it easier. There are gyros that you can put in planes now to make them easier, because it will detect when it's falling out of it and it will correct automatically. But you know, you don't have to use a gyro. So if you're not subscribed to the Essential RC YouTube channel, then maybe you'd want to consider doing that. It's free. Also, what you can do if you're feeling even more generous is we have this concept of YouTube Super Chats, which is your way to make donations to YouTube channels to help them keep going. We, you know, every little bit helps us keep our YouTube channels going, and buying stuff to help us support our work. So if you feel so inclined, then any donations via YouTube Super Chats would be welcome. So that's done via the I think there's the chat window. You should see there's a $sign down the bottom of the chat window. It's very easy to do, but not mandatory. It's optional. Hey, I have to ask, don't I? You know. Oh my God! Nearly lost control. The biggest RC I have owned and flown was a 40% scale extra 300, and I was typically those types of models are gas powered. They'll have a petrol engine, but I converted mine to electric. Hey James 97321. So the thing I do love about the chat that you get on live streams is it does catch a lot of the spam or stuff people will try and drop in here, which probably no one else would want to see. So James trying to drop an image link into the chat, but that got blocked. So yo to you, James. Good try. Yo. So nobody had requested anything. Oh, more jets. Somebody did say jets because they arrived late and they wanted to see a jet. So should we do an airline? Let's do the A380. Let's change scenery. Let's go to a multi-panorama. I like Bennett Field, if I can find it. So I'm going to get rid of the transmitter because it spoils the immersive experience. Yeah, now that's the interesting thing, buddy. Fishfax, my friend Fishfax, because out in Germany and in Europe they are quite crazy about airliner type models. They are not so much in the UK. Kidding, does it? It says that, Stuart. Well, thanks for trying. Not available in your region. Jeez. Never mind. I'll try another link in a moment. I'm really throwing it around. Something you wouldn't normally do if you had a model of this size, I have to say. You want to see a loop? Okay, we'll try a loop. Yeah, it's a jet fighter. And we go up. Oh, you can't tell me halfway through. Can you? Dom, do a loop. Oh, forget the loop. No, I'm halfway through the loop and you want me to do a roll. Imagine being on an A380 if it was doing that. Right, we'll try a roll. It's quite a hard thing to do it straight down the runway, I have to say. But we'll try. So, roll. I was sure I was going in. It's impossible to keep it in a straight line. Another thing is knife edge, not knife edges. You roll it on its side and try and hold that hold it on its side with the rudder. So you have to get a lot of speed up, I think. Like that. Okay, so here we go. We're going to try and do this lower. Don't be surprised if I crash. Don't try this at home, kids. Flat out. Oh my God. Oh, that is funny. You won't see an A380 do that very often. I'm going to do it the other way. It was so fun doing it that way. I'm going to do it the other way. Yeah, exactly right. It is. Your rudder becomes your elevator. Here we go. Here we go. And roll. Oh my God. God, I was actually sweating when I did that as I was coming towards myself. How about this? How about low inverted pass? See, I'm just being stupid now. Oh, beautiful. It's funny trying to getting planes to do things that you wouldn't normally see them do. We'll do that again the other way. It was just so fun. I'm glad you're coming up with ideas of stuff for me to try, because it just makes me laugh. And it's been a long day. I like a good laugh at the end of the day. Here we go, here we go! And the other way. Oh! Oh, sorry. I hit the bush at the end of the runway. Spacebar. I nearly had a heart attack when that happened. Right. Stuart's asking, does this simulator require a fast processing computer? No, I don't think it does. I don't think it's actually that tough on a processor. It'll probably. I used to run the. I do. I confess I do have the latest NVIDIA graphics card, but this particular game, Sim, does not need it. You could run this on an Intel i5 processor, probably above and above, or probably better on an i7. All right, should we change planes since I broke that one? Let's try. Here's a good one. Aeromaki MB339. Yes, dead people spread all over the runway. Sorry. So, as I was saying, Aeromaki MB339 in Freccia Tricolori scheme, used by the Italian display team of the same name. And I saw them at a show last year in the UK, and they were amazing. Just like the Red Arrows, or you know, they fly so close together. I used to have a turbine, jet turbine powered model of one of these. It was about 2.5 meter wingspan. We'll try the Bobcat in a minute, can do that. I don't have much time left on this stream actually. God, time flies when you're having fun. Smoke on. How about this? You should have the Italian national anthem playing in the background. Smooth. Let's do a low pass, so put flaps down, nice and draggy. Slowing down. I've cut the throttle back to idle until it slows down to the point of stall. Oh no, I did. I did actually touch the ground. So Brad's asking, where can you get this? If you do a Google search for Aerofly RC8, that should take you to the Icarus website. You go to that website, then you can see there'll be lots of information about all the different features that this sim has. All the models, all the different sceneries. Yep, Nintrance is right. Do that. You'll. I'll drop the link at the end of this. There you go. Icarus.net. Thanks, Mr. Fizz FPV. Much appreciated. No, it's not on Steam. I'm surprised by that. But you need to get the cable anyway. You need to get a cable that connects it to your transmitter, or buy a dummy transmitter that you can just use with the simulator. Right, so we're going to land the MB339. Landing gear down. We're just going to try a couple more models before I call it a day. But it's been a lot of fun. I've had more fun than I would normally have. And that is only because of the people who've, or you guys, you've been chatting with. And you give me some good ideas for what to do. It's kind of boring if you're doing it by yourself. There we go. Woo. Hi Edu Bertu. F16, should we do this next? Competition version. I like the Dutch scheme more than I do the American scheme. Dutch, American. I prefer the Dutch one. This has got thrust vectoring. So if you don't know what thrust vectoring is, imagine the cone at the back that the exhaust of the jet goes through. That moves as well, and it redirects the jet off in a different direction to the axis of the jet itself. Knife edge spins. I'm not very good at those, but I'll see what I can do with this. So we're just going to fly it fast to start off with, taking off. Oh, you said Bobcat, Stuart. I'm sorry. Bobcat next, I promise. I've got the memory of a goldfish. I can't remember what somebody said to me like 30 seconds ago. This won't take long. Bear with me. It'll be worth it. Oh! Crashed. Okay, cheers Brad. Thanks for tuning in. Well, I screwed up, so I'm going to go to the Bobcat. Bob, 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 bob. There it is. Should we size it up? The biggest Bobcat you'll ever see. Oh! Now, here's the thing. BVM, Bob Violet models. Bob Violet, a gentleman who's been really one of the forerunners of radio-controlled jet model aircraft. Sells them from the States. The Bobcat is kind of a trainer jet model. A lot of other manufacturers inspired by his models. And he's our top quality, but you can also expect to pay top dollar, I would say. I use the one transmitter for everything that I do, whether it's flying real radio control models or on the simulator, and that is my Spectrum DX18. It's a Generation 1 DX18 made by Spectrum. So relatively old, 5-6 years old, but I trust it because it works. I've never had a problem with it, and that's the thing with transmitters. You want to find one that you like and that doesn't give you any problems. Doesn't always work out that way. Why would I change transmitters when I'm happy with the one I've got? Does everything I need. Winding it up. First pass. Oh yeah. I have to say I'm not a great fan of twin boom jets, but if it's fast it's quite a lot of fun to fly. 4-point roll. 1, 2, 3, 4. And reversal, coming back down the runway. We're doing 8-point roll, if I can. God, see how small it gets. So flat out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-ish. We'll do another roll. So slow roll, flat out, and roll. Oh yeah, oh yeah. I tell you what, this really, when you're doing this with a real turbine jet, it's like, I'm on fire, baby. It's 250 miles an hour. Your blood turns to adrenaline. Smoke on. It is pretty damn quick, isn't it, for a little sport jet? And it's kind of for a precision animal, you know. Really, imagine you were sitting in that cockpit. Pull some G's. I haven't flown this one before. This is very, very good. But so I'm going to end the show actually with another BVM model. So we'll land this one. Good Lord, that was fun. Yeah, that's the thing. If you crash a jet, there's never normally a lot left. Oh, he says, I don't want to crash this. There we go. How about that? That was a bit good. So thanks for the recommendation on that one. So many models you can actually fly in this simulator. You know, my very first radio was a high-tech radio. I'm just trying to think what it was, but it was on 35 megahertz, and of course we all fly on 2.4 gigahertz now, and it's all computer automated. God, it's loud, isn't it? God, that was loud. But jets generally are. So yeah, 35 megahertz days. That was it was annoying because you all had to fly on unique frequencies. What was I looking? I was looking for another. So interestingly, Bob Violet models, BVM. So I was flying the Bobcat, which is kind of the low end of his models that he sells in the States. The top end is the Ultra Bandit, which I saw. It wasn't an Optic 6, no, something else similar. I saw, is it Jason Schulman fly it at a show in Germany 7 or 8 years ago, and I've never seen someone fly an RC jet so fast and so hard. I really thought he was going to snap it. I really thought he would just bang, 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 you know, the way he was flying it. I thought he was going to snap the wings off, but he didn't. And the thing with RC jets is, you see the wing, when you assemble them at the field, you have a wing joiner, a tube that goes through the fuselage and into the wings. and that these days is kind of made of it's kind of a carbon tube. But for Mr. Schulman, because they knew that he puts these model jets through such amount of high G manoeuvres, they put birch wood through this carbon tube to reinforce it so that it didn't snap. That's the story. That's what I heard anyway. So anyway, here let's fly this. I don't think it's actually as fast as the Bobcat for some reason. But if not, I could do one interesting thing. Show you one other interesting thing that you can do with this simulator. I'm kind of disappointed so far. This should be quicker. See, that was flat out. That's rubbish. So edit aircraft. Ha! So what I can do is I can go to the turbine, maximum thrust. So 128 newtons is pretty rubbish, I have to say, by modern standards. We want to go up to something like the biggest kind of RC jet engine you can get these days. Affordable jet engine is about 330 newtons. So let's save that as do I really have to type this? Ultra Bandit 330 newtons. So if I save that, and I can change I could change lots of other things about the characteristics of the model, but I've just literally changed. Thought I had my brakes on. Come on. What's going on there? Did I do some general parameters? Turbine thrust. That's weird. Very strange. Oh, hold on. Oh, what am I doing? Load aircraft. No, it's the right one. Bear with me. Size it up. Yeah, that's not right, is it? That can't be right. 3,300 newtons is going to vaporize. So, oh, I know what it might be, because I've doubled the size of it. Anyway, we're going to try it. We're going to try that. So I'm at 0. Stop. Stop. Total mass CG. That's yeah. I didn't mean to do that. So all right. Let's be sensible. I'll be disappointed if it doesn't. You see, it's not. Doing something wrong. Very strange. That might be a bug. I'll have to ask them about that. 1,000 newtons. Still doesn't feel that fast. I'm going to get this right. I might have to double it to 2,000. I want it to be super fast, like the real thing. Oh, really? It's a... Ah, all right. Well, maybe I've got my whole concept of newtons wrong then. So, so let's change it to 4,000 then. God, the idle thrust is... I have to use the brakes. I was being silly. All right, here we go. That's better. That is better. Oh my God. Here we go. Crank it up. So yeah, Jason Schulman was flying this thing at this German jet show that I went to a few years ago, and he was flying it like this fast. I actually think it was faster than that. That is not fast enough. Sorry, turbine. I'm going to go for 6,000 newtons. Ah! Brakes. Here we go, here we go. This is my last flight, guys, so hold on to your hats. Yeah, this is it. Good grief. This is how small a jet gets. And he had this, what I remember, he had this very cool music playing. I'll have to dig out the video and share it with you. But it was one of the most inspirational pieces of flying that I'd ever witnessed. Okay. Listen, Stuart's getting all excited now. It's like, put it up to the max. I want maximum power. All right, because I'm as mad as Stuart Kitchoff, I'm gonna do exactly that. Oh my God, 9999999. All right. Did you see? I didn't even touch the throttle. It just boom. It just went. Oh my God! No, it vaporized. Stuart, honestly, my throttle is at 0. And this is the thing with gas turbine engines. They're running, right? They're running on the ground. You're at 0 throttle on your stick, but there's still idle thrust. Thrust coming out of the engine. Oh, I'm going to have to take a 9 off. I looked 100, a million newtons. No. We've got to be sensible. All right. No, we. Let's go. All right. So this is manageable. Oh my God! It's still going to be frightening fast. If it still might vaporize. Jeez. I've gone 0 throttle because I don't want to rip the wings off. Here we go, full throttle down the runway. Oh. Oh, I thought I'd gone in. Should we try a little bit more? A little more power, just a little bit more. So with that, we'll go like that. Grrr. Jeez. I'm scared. This is pretty close to how quick they can get. and you right, one more pass. Oh, I thought I'd gone in. Right, okay. That's I think that's enough of that. God, I'm surprised it slows down. Tell me about it. I need to go around in a circle a couple of times just for it to slow down. Oh. Bye, bye, Nintrance. Take care, mate. I'm not sure I'll be able to land this because it's not slowing down much. No, it won't slow down. Stop! It disintegrated on landing. Right. On that note, I think we are done for today. That was a huge amount of fun. So thanks very much for everybody that dialed in and participated on chat. Stuart, Julio, Fizz FPV, Nintrance, Top Geezer. I apologise if you have just dialed in. We're just about done. Jay Jones, great to see you again, buddy. And some of our earlier fish facts as well. Thanks very much. Pankaj. Yeah, some lovely people came on chat and we had a bit of a laugh. So thanks very much again. Please subscribe if you haven't done already to the Essential RC YouTube channel. And we'll do it again soon. But all the best, take care. Yeah, that's it. Bye for now. And that's that.